Thanks for stopping in. So I got this one from the New York Post. Oklahoma elementary school faces calls to fire drag queen principal. Let's check it out. Elementary school is facing calls to fire its drag queen principal who once faced CP raps, according to a report. Shane Merman, who performs as Who Cares when in high heels and makeup, was tapped as John Glenn Elementary's top administrator in Oklahoma City in June, according to Fox News. The outlet reported that Merman was charged with possession of CP more than 20 years ago, but the case was dismissed because it couldn't be proven that the images depicted minors. Questionable enough for this person to probably not be a teacher or a principal, in my opinion, you think, right? I mean, according to the Oklahoman, Merman was working as a 5th grade teacher at the time and resigned from his position before later re-entering the profession. The Sooner State's head of public school education, Shane Walters, ripped district officials for the hire this week and demanded that Merman be sacked. I think that the left is absolutely an agenda for our kids, that they are at war with our kids in the classroom, he told the outlet. What they are doing is injecting this ideology for an end goal here. Their end goal is to absolutely break down a child's mind, break down the classroom, break down the family, and you see the results that have come from this, end quote. District officials have resisted the backlash against Merman. Recently, we were made aware of previous charges that were dismissed years ago, read a June Facebook statement on Merman's past. We are very excited about his vision for John Glenn and for the community. The Post listed Merman's educational credentials and long history of working with children. You know, being a drag queen is one thing, and that's fine for an adult to do adult things around adults. But caution, right? Red flags. Not to mention the accusations, the charges that were dropped from the person's past. I mean, that's enough to not want me to have my child going to that school. Dr. Merman has been serving the field of education for more than 25 years and has an outstanding reputation, the Post read. He comes highly recommended from previous supervisors, colleagues, and educators. Well, you know, in this situation, that makes me question all of his previous supervisors, colleagues, and educators. You know, what kind of group is this? Because if this guy has these types of things in his past, and they're highly recommending him, you know, I got questions. District Superintendent Braden Savage also fiercely defended Merman's selection at the time. You know, why so fiercely have to defend somebody? Fox News reported that the principal maintained a separate Facebook account under the Mandalay moniker that presented him in drag. If I went to church, this is exactly what I would be wearing, Merman remarked alongside a picture of himself in an electric blue wig and extending his tongue. I mean, that's fine. The church welcomes everybody, at least the church that I know, but this person is mocking. They're saying this if they would. They're probably not ever going to go into a church. I hope they do, but Walters, a staunch conservative who once characterized teachers' unions as terrorist organizations, quote, that was a quote, said the schools are becoming saturated with agenda-driven ideologues. He told Fox News, is to create a divide between children and their parents. Look at the sexual material. When the kids take it home and their parent is outraged by it, the kids turn on their parents. This is absolutely trying to break down that family unit so the kid is more susceptible to the most radical Marxist gender ideology we've ever seen to pit groups of people against each other. And frankly, it's to create Democrat voters. You know, I guess, that's his end of his quote, but I don't know if it's to make Democrat voters or to create a wider pool of potential partners once these children grow up, or worse. And while we got all this going on, we also have, you remember the controversial Canadian teacher last year that with the Z cup breast. Let me just show you the New York Post article here, leading parents to slam them as an attention grab for the expense of children's safety. Controversial Canadian teacher Kayla Lemieux has dropped the Z-size prosthetic breasts, which attracted a wave of attention last year. Did they pun that? Is that some kind of pun? Leaving parents at the school she started at Wednesday confused by her male appearance, which included a stubbly beard. So I guess the parents were expecting the same person that this, the same image that this person presented last year. I guess that probably has some kind of definition where you can change. Parents at the Nora Francis Henderson Secondary School questioned Lemieux's motives to the Post Wednesday as she began teaching shop classes, following warnings that had been sent about the need to strengthen security at the school due to the teacher's presence. I guess that means from outsiders. Why is it, I love how they just hire one teacher and then they have to hire more security. They can do it for one teacher, but they can't just in general for the kids, Lord forbid they hire more security for the actual students in a day and age like we have today. That's beside the point. They did this time, on your tax dollars, of course, to protect this person, whom they didn't have to hire in the first place. This means that they're going to start getting some flack from the left, who was accepting this person who they presented last year, expected them to come in being the same, and now they're going, hold up, what's this? You had me thinking something else, and I was fine with it, and now you're not. The mainstream and the woke essentially will then label that person far right for asking that question or having that concern. The reality is it's a normal reaction, right? But let's continue. Why is she so quick to drop the big prosthetic breasts, tight clothing, and wig? Michelle, 41, who has 2 kids in the school, questioned. It is disingenuous, and it's obvious now it was all an attention grab at the expense of children's safety. Of course, a target of sorts, and then you go into a school, you're putting the people around you at risk. I think is what this person is trying to say. I could be wrong. The concerned mother added bringing Lemieux to their school district could attract the same protests and bomb threats that plagued the Oakville Trafalgar High School where Lemieux previously worked. See, that's what I was talking about, other types of threats too. Not a real good place to go and learn about math and science and stuff like that when you're worried about other things, as a student, in my opinion. I'm more worried about Kayla's safety, but my kids could be in danger if someone attacks her or if there's a bomb threat and my children are in school, she said. Ashley, 39, said she would pull her 14-year-old daughter out of the school before letting her attend class with Lemieux. She was going to call me and I was going to pick her up. I support her entirely, she said. Maybe it's all an attention grab, whatever pronoun they go by, got too much negative attention, so went back to being a man, this person says. Said he'd preferred if Lemieux wasn't a teacher at his daughter's school, but said he trusted his 9th grader to steer clear of the teacher. And that's another thing, be a good guide for your children to steer clear of this person and don't leave yourself in a scenario. And that goes for, everything, but if you think a person could be a threat, you take extra precautions. In the perfect world, this teacher isn't around my child, but it's not a perfect world. I will still send my child here because my child's hard-headed and is not easily influenced. I don't know if that means that he thinks his child couldn't be influenced by this person, or that means that he actually tried to get his child to switch schools, but she's like, no, all my friends go to this school. I'm going to this school no matter what. I worry more about kids that are on the edge, confused and easily impressionable, he added. Bill, 67, who visited the school Wednesday to see its commotion, agreed that the Z Cups were too much of a distraction for the kids. They're just getting used to back to school again after 2 years stuck at home during COVID, and now this? I don't think this teacher should be in the profession. In my day, this would have never been allowed. Well, Bill, Lemieux donned a more masculine look with stubble, a men's shirt, and sunglasses for her first day. If this person is now presenting as a man, I believe this person claimed at one point that the Z-sized things were not prosthetics. I could be wrong, but I recollect that being the case. It's really confusing, but I gotta tell you this. If this person's not allowed to be themselves at their job, if they have to hide their identity to go to work, that's not a good recipe for a happy environment. Maybe try to find something that you're better at, that you can be yourself. But could you at least clarify what we can call you? What we should call you? Because you are a story that people talk about and write about. And it just seems weird to say she about a person that looks like me. In an interview with The Post, Lemieux said she was intersex and adamantly claimed the breasts were not fake. Oh, see, like I said, I should have just read one more sentence. even after being photoshopped or even after being photographed leaving home without them. Oh man, I gotta scroll past these pictures. I'm not wearing prosthetic breasts. These are real, Lemieux told the Post back in February. A father who asked to remain anonymous also said that Lemieux shouldn't be allowed to teach in the Hamilton Wentworth School District where Nora Francis Henderson is located. The kids learn from their teachers more than their parents, he said. It's not a good example to set for children. Part of me thinks that the world that these kids are going to grow up into, this is going to be way more normal than it is for us. So it might be lesser of a deal than we make it out to be. So then they kind of need to have a little taste of it so that they're ready for it when it starts coming faster and faster towards them. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm thinking through this one right here because naturally you think the opposite. But I'm considering hopefully channels like mine can help slow that process or reverse it. I added my little Gadsden flag back here in tribute, to the kid that wore his on his backpack to school the other day. Made that statement, stood up for himself. I like that. And I think more kids should know what this symbol means. Things became cool in echo chambers. When you can seclude yourself into these echo chambers and divide from society and the norms, we become divided. And the norms become skewed. The regular thing becomes skewed. And I just think that, we've gone past the point of reeling that back in completely. Unless we can make principles, love of country, godliness a regular part of society. Like I said, these kids are going to grow up in a world where this stuff is way more regular. And it's already starting now. It's simple as that. Maybe in 10 years, we'll look back at this and laugh at it. And you're an adult and you want to do adult things with other adults. You want to leave the kids out of it. I'm 100%. You go do you. But when you involve the kids, that's when a lot of people get concerned. And being a teacher is directly, not only are you around kids, you're influencing and you're teaching kids right from wrong, correct from bad, good from bad, all these different things. A little bit too fast, a little bit too far too fast for us right now, at least. I don't understand why a person would want to do what this person is doing and go into a school wearing all that type of stuff. First of all, I hate having a wallet in my pocket all day. I hate having my keys in my pocket. That's annoying. Could you imagine wearing them things around all day in a wig? At least for me, who doesn't ever wear these type of things. And I'm going to cut it off there, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you agreed with what I said, hit that like button, please. Subscribe to the channel. And, I'm just trying to figure some of this stuff out myself, too. So, show me some grace if I'm wrong, okay? I appreciate it, and I'll see you later.